nobody could have predicted what just happened. Kirk Frost, the man known for always keeping his cool, collapsed in front of an entire room, all because of a single sentence from Rasheeda's doctor. The moment those words were spoken, everything changed. Kirk's world shattered in real time, and no one knew whether to help him up or start recording. It didn't feel like real life. It felt like the final scene in a movie that's been building up for years. Whispers were already swirling before the doctor even walked in. People were tense. Rasheeda looked nervous. Kirk was pacing back and forth, almost like he knew something was coming, but even he couldn't have imagined this. The truth didn't hit him like a slap, it knocked the air right out of his chest. Those who saw it said it was one of the most surreal moments they've ever witnessed. Rasheeda stood frozen, holding the report, her hands visibly shaking. A few people shouted, someone grabbed Kirk's arm, but by the time they reached him, it was too late. He'd already hit the ground. And the crazy part? That was just the beginning. This wasn't just some random meltdown. No, this was the result of years of unresolved pain, broken promises, and a marriage built on cracks that were always one argument away from collapsing. Anyone who's followed Kirk and Rasheeda knows this couple has been through hell. But what no one realized is that all those scars were never healed. They were just buried. And now everything's erupting at once. Kirk Frost has always played the role of the smooth operator, slick talker, businessman, the guy who makes mistakes but somehow finds a way to spin it all. But this time, his charm couldn't save him. Not when the truth was stamped on paper and delivered straight from a doctor's lips. There was no talking his way out of this. No press statement. No damage control. Rewind just a few weeks earlier and things actually looked calm, at least on the surface. Rasheeda was doing interviews, promoting her brand, smiling like nothing was wrong. Kirk was quiet but present, and fans, they assumed the couple had finally put their issues to rest. But behind the scenes, tension was rising. Something felt off. People close to the couple described a strange distance, like they were walking on eggshells around each other. Then Rasheeda stopped wearing her ring. The last time Rasheeda took off her ring, it was during the Jasmine Washington scandal, the one that nearly ended everything. The baby, the cheating, the public humiliation, that moment tore Rasheeda apart, and she made it very clear she'd never go through something like that again. So when she showed up to her recent event without the ring, fans were quick to notice. Social media started buzzing. Theories started forming. And then she disappeared. For nearly a week, Rasheeda went completely silent. No Instagram stories, no new posts, no brand updates. People thought maybe it was just a break. Maybe she was rebranding. But then Kirk started acting weird. He posted a late-night video from inside his car looking visibly stressed. He wasn't talking to the camera, he was just driving, silent, but the caption said it all. Sometimes silence is loudest. That's when people knew something was happening. Insiders claim that during those missing days, Rasheeda was at a private clinic. Not for beauty treatments, not for business deals, but for a personal consultation that no one expected. Rumors began to circulate that she'd been experiencing sudden health issues. But what got everyone's attention was the rumor that she'd gone there alone without Kirk. And that's something she never used to do. Sources close to Rasheeda say she had started feeling off, tired, emotional. And when she finally made the decision to see a doctor, she didn't tell Kirk until after the appointment. That alone sparked a heated argument behind closed doors. Kirk reportedly felt blindsided. He accused her of hiding something. She told him to stop assuming. But the damage was already done. Whatever that appointment revealed set off a domino. Effect that leads us to the moment everything went public. A closed-door production meeting for a new spin-off. Cameras were there, producers were there, and Kirk. He was sitting at the edge of the couch, arms folded, trying to stay calm. Rasheeda walked in holding a manila envelope, the same one she'd been clutching for hours. You could see in her eyes something wasn't right. Then the doctor entered, not through a call, not through a note. But in person, that's when time froze. The doctor said just a few words, not loud, not dramatic, just facts. But those facts shattered everything Kirk thought he knew. He looked at Rasheeda like she was a stranger. Then he looked down at the floor, blinked hard, and without saying a single word, collapsed. Producers rushed in. The crew scrambled to cut the cameras and Rasheeda. She just stood there. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just looked at him like she had finally given up. Because this wasn't just about health. This wasn't just about a pregnancy. This was about betrayal, doubt, and something Kirk never expected to hear. Not from her, not from a doctor. And definitely not on camera. And now, the internet wants answers. The silence after Kirk collapsed wasn't peaceful yet, was heavy, suffocating, and terrifying. For a moment, no one moved. Rasheeda's eyes didn't leave him. Her hands were still gripping that envelope like it was the last barrier holding back years of secrets. The doctor, stunned but composed, signaled for help. But Kirk didn't wake up right away. He laid there, unmoving. It's as if his body had finally caught up to the emotional weight he'd been ignoring for years. Someone called for paramedics. Others tried to block the cameras. But one thing they couldn't erase was the sound of the doctor's voice. Those few words still echoing in everyone's head. He isn't the father. That was it. That was all it took. 6 syllables that exploded like a grenade. Everyone knew Rasheeda had been acting different lately, but nobody guessed this. Nobody even considered the idea that Rasheeda might be pregnant again. Certainly not with a child that Kirk didn't father. But now, that unthinkable possibility was real, documented, confirmed by a medical professional. Right there in front of everyone, the reaction was instant. One producer reportedly stormed off set. Another was seen arguing with a network rep on. The phone crew members stood in shock. Some were crying. Others just whispered the same thing over and over. There's no way this is real. But it was. Kirk was rushed to a private medical room. He hadn't suffered a full cardiac episode, but the emotional stress had dropped his blood pressure to dangerous levels. Rasheeda tried to follow, but a producer gently stopped her. She didn't argue. She just handed over the envelope and walked. Away in silence, backstage, a firestorm had already ignited. Word spread fast. Phones started buzzing. Someone leaked the confrontation to a gossip page within minutes. The caption was brutal. Rasheeda pregnant, but Kirk's not the father. Sources say he collapsed on set after DNA bombshell. It went viral within the hour. People didn't know what to believe. Some were calling it karma. Others were screaming. In defense of Rasheeda, saying she deserved to move on after everything Kirk put her through. But what everyone agreed on was that this was just the beginning. The drama wasn't contained to just a medical revelation. No, what happened next took the scandal from shocking to absolutely chaotic. A few hours after the leak, an anonymous Twitter account dropped screenshots. Allegedly, these were texts from Rasheeda's private phone. The messages were vague but devastating. One read, "He doesn't know yet. I'm scared." Another said, "I didn't plan this, but it happened. And now I have to face it." The final message. It simply said, "It's his. It's his." The timeline was now impossible to ignore. If those messages were real, and by all indications, they were, then Rasheeda had known about the pregnancy for at least 3 weeks. And she'd been hiding it, not just from Kirk, but from the public, from the producers, from the world, and the most dangerous part. She hadn't denied the child wasn't Kirk's. People started speculating. Who was the other man? When did it happen? Was this revenge? Or was Rasheeda genuinely caught in something bigger than herself? Then came the first public statement, ironically. Not from Rasheeda or Kirk, but from Jasmine Washington. That's right? The same Jasmine who had Kirk's love child years ago? The same woman who almost destroyed their marriage before. She posted a video, laughing, sipping a glass of wine, and saying, Ain't karma a beautiful thing? That video hit 1 million views in under 5 hours. Everyone was watching now. Blogs were dissecting every post. Twitter was in meltdown. TikTok creators were reenacting the doctor scene using leaked descriptions. The rumor mill was working overtime, and nobody knew what was real anymore. But it didn't stop there. Later that evening, Rasheeda was spotted leaving a studio in Atlanta. Paparazzi caught up with her. When asked if Kirk was okay, she didn't respond. When asked about the pregnancy, she said only one thing: everything's not what it seems. That sentence sent fans into a frenzy. Was she denying the pregnancy? Was she trying to protect someone? Or was she hinting that the real story hadn't come out yet? Behind the scenes, insiders say Kirk finally regained consciousness but refused to speak. He asked for all his devices to be turned off. No calls, no texts, nothing. He reportedly requested space and even told his team to cancel all upcoming appearances. Meanwhile, another wave of screenshots hit the internet. This time from an Instagram DM exchange. A well-known Atlanta promoter claimed he'd been talking to Rasheeda privately for months. The messages showed flirtation, late-night meets, and even a conversation about starting fresh. Nobody could verify the authenticity. But at this point, truth and rumor were bleeding together, and Kirk. He had yet to make a single public comment until 3 a.m. That's when everything flipped again. Kirk posted to his story a black screen, white text, no audio. I gave up everything for you. The internet lost its mind. That single line had people crying, fighting, and speculating all over again. Who was he talking to? Rasheeda or someone else? What exactly did he give up? And most importantly, was this really the end of their marriage? Because if it was, it wasn't ending with dignity. It was ending with a bang, a scandal, and the biggest twist of all, according to a newly leaked document from the clinic, Kirk had secretly undergone a vasectomy over a year ago, and Rasheeda never knew. Now the question wasn't whether the baby was Kirk's. It was how long Kirk had known it never could be. By the time the vasectomy news leaked, everything was already spinning out of control. But that detail took the scandal from betrayal to full-blown devastation. People didn't just gasp, they reeled. Kirk Frost had quietly undergone a procedure that made it medically impossible for him to father another child. And now Rasheeda was pregnant? Everything she had said, every tear she had shed, every Instagram caption about trust and growth now felt like a lie. But the cruelest part? Rasheeda didn't even know. Insiders claim the vasectomy wasn't something Kirk did after the Jasmine scandal. No, this was recent. Done quietly, without Rasheeda's input. Some say it was a control move. Others believe he was afraid of having another child accidentally. But now, that secret had detonated in the worst way. Rasheeda found out the same way everyone else did online. The moment that screenshot of the medical form surfaced, Rasheeda was at home, surrounded by her team. She had just finished telling her manager she wanted to go public with her side of the story. And then her assistant screamed. They handed her the phone. She read the document once, and again, then she just whispered, "He did this." What followed was chaos. She reportedly began crying uncontrollably, pacing back and forth and saying over and over, "He lied to me. He lied to me first." Her team urged her to stay offline, but she didn't listen. She picked up her phone, went to her camera, and hit record. She never posted the video, but someone close to her leaked a clip in the footage. Rasheeda is visibly distraught, barely holding herself together. Her voice cracks as she says, "You want to paint me like the villain? Then let's tell the whole truth. Let's talk about what you really did." The clip ended before she could reveal more. But it was enough to blow the internet wide open. Suddenly, the narrative flipped again. Fans who had spent the last 24 hours dragging Rasheeda were now turning on Kirk. Comments flooded his page. "You lied about the vasectomy. She didn't even know. This man was setting her up the whole time." People began dissecting every interview, every post, every interaction. And slowly, a chilling theory emerged. Kirk never trusted Rasheeda. He'd gotten the procedure behind her back because deep down, he was already preparing for betrayal. Was that projection or self-defense? A man named Tyrell, not a rapper, not an influencer, just a name people had seen once, tagged in Rasheeda's birthday photos from 2 years ago. No one thought much of it back then, just another friend from the past. But now, that name was trending because Tyrell went live in a shaky, dimly lit Instagram stream. Tyrell said the words that set the internet on fire: "I'm not hiding no more. Y'all want to know the truth? Yeah, I've been with Rasheeda. We didn't plan. It just happened." But don't act like Kirk's innocent. People were stunned. Comments exploded. Some called him a clout chaser. Others demanded receipts. But Tyrell kept talking. He claimed they reconnected months ago. After running into each other at a mutual friend's launch party, he said Rasheeda confided in him that she felt alone, controlled, tired of being doubted. According to him, their bond turned emotional, then physical. And he didn't stop there. Tyrell pulled out his phone and read what he claimed were texts from Rasheeda. Messages like, "I feel like I don't even know who I married, and I just want peace, even if it's temporary." He then added, "I never asked her to leave him. I never planned to be in this mess. But if that baby is mine, I'm gonna be there." The world erupted. Twitter timelines exploded. Gossip pages started using phrases like "confirmed lover," "baby daddy bombshell," and "Rasheeda's new man speaks." But the most devastating reaction came from someone nobody expected: Carter Frost. That's right, Kirk and Rasheeda's son, using a private account that fans quickly linked to him. Carter commented under a post about Tyrell. The comment was just one line: "Y'all don't even know the half." That comment was screenshotted and reposted everywhere. It became the most quoted sentence of the night. Because now, the scandal wasn't just affecting Kirk and Rasheeda. Their son was in it. And he was hinting that even more was hidden. What else could there possibly be? Producers from Love and Hip Hop reportedly began emergency meetings. Some were pushing to shut down filming completely. Others wanted to fast-track this into a special episode. Celebrity reactions started rolling in. Cardi B tweeted, "This is why I keep my business to myself." Tommy Roman posted a cryptic story saying, "Truth always burns louder than rumors." And even Benzino jumped in, writing, "Kirk done got out-Kirked." Everyone had something to say. But still no word from Kirk until 9 a.m. the next day. He posted a photo of himself standing alone at a park, hoodie up, no caption. But if you looked closely, his eyes were red, not just tired, broken. The comments were brutal. "She deserves better. You did this to her? Why lie if you weren't ready for her truth?" But then came the twist no one expected. A blogger, known for accurate leaks, posted a cryptic thread. "Y'all really think Kirk was shocked by that baby news? Think again. The real shock is what Rasheeda found in his safe 2 nights ago. Trust me, everything's about to flip." What else was Kirk hiding? Was the vasectomy just the beginning of a much darker game? No one knew, but one thing was clear. This story wasn't over. The scandal had morphed from a personal meltdown into a full-blown cultural moment. Everyone had picked a side. Everyone had something to say. The timelines weren't just reacting, they were erupting. Hashtag Team RASHEEDA started trending first. Thousands of fans, mostly women, flooded social media to defend her. They called her brave. They said she'd finally broken free. They dug up old clips of Kirk disrespecting her, dismissing her, doubting her, and played them side by side with her latest video leak. In their eyes, this wasn't a betrayal. This was survival. Years of silent suffering were now boiling to the surface. She gave him decades, businesses, babies, loyalty. And he still had a secret vasectomy. Let her live. All mad she found love elsewhere, but didn't say a word when he had a whole child outside the marriage. One viral TikTok viewed over 8 million times featured a dramatic reenactment of Rasheeda discovering the vasectomy news. Set to Beyonce, S. Don T. Hurt Yourself. It ended with the caption, Rasheeda ain't cheat. She escaped. But then came the backlash. Because while Rasheeda had an army of supporters, Kirk wasn't alone either. Hashtag Kirk started to rise, fueled by fans who believed Rasheeda crossed a line. They pointed to the pregnancy, to Tyrell's live video, to the leaked texts, and they came hard with accusations. She cheated and got pregnant. Come on now, this ain't empowerment, it's recklessness. Kirk was wrong back then. Yeah, bet she should have left if she was done. Don't sneak around. Some even blame Tyrell, calling him an opportunist who inserted himself into a decades-long relationship just to get fame. And in the middle of the war, celebrities started dropping bombs of their own. Zafiri went live saying, yo, this whole situation messed up, but I ain't gonna lie. I feel for Kirk. Ain't no man ready to hear that news in front of everybody. That clip blew up and got reposted by every major blog within minutes. Meanwhile, Erica Mena jumped on Twitter with a brutal line that cut deep. It's always the quiet women with the deadliest secrets. Even Tokyo Vanity posted, karma's not always about getting even. Sometimes it's just watching the ones who hurt you ruin themselves. News outlets had a field day. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, Bosa, TMZ, they all published different versions of the scandal, each adding a slightly different angle, each stoking the flames. A poll on the Neighborhood Talk asked, who betrayed who first? Over 800,000 people voted. The results were nearly even. 51% said Rasheeda, 49% said Kirk. It was that close then. Industry insiders began to leak behind-the-scenes conversations from the Love and Hip Hop production team. One insider claimed that the network was considering scrapping the current storyline altogether. Another leaked a memo allegedly urging cast members not to comment publicly. A move that only made fans more suspicious. And just when it seemed like the reactions couldn't get any more chaotic, an audio leak surfaced. A recorded phone call between Kirk and an unidentified friend reportedly captured just hours after the vasectomy leak found its way onto Reddit. In it, Kirk's voice is shaky. He says things like, I thought she'd never find out, and I was trying to protect us, man. Then comes the most damning line of all. I didn't think she'd actually move on. That line became a meme, screenshotted, quoted, twisted into TikToks, tweets, reels, and remixes. One remix, set to dramatic piano music, ended with the words, you thought she'd wait forever. She's Rasheeda, not your prisoner. Some fans started using the scandal as relationship commentary. Twitter threads went viral titled, Kirk and Rasheeda, a timeline of control disguised as commitment. Others published think pieces titled, Why Men Who Cheat Think They Still Deserve Loyalty. And then came the brands. Two major fashion brands affiliated with Rasheeda posted vague supportive messages about growth and healing. One tagged her, the other didn't. People noticed, meanwhile, a men's lifestyle brand Kirk once promoted quietly removed his photo from their site. When asked why, the brand simply responded, "We are distancing from ongoing drama out of respect for all parties involved." It was clear, nobody wanted to be caught in the crossfire. But nobody could look away either. Even normal fans were turning into internet detectives. They were dissecting old footage, watching timestamps, pulling up screenshots from years ago, and comparing them to recent posts. They were determined to find the truth, even if the truth kept shifting. The drama was no longer just about Kirk and Rasheeda. It was about loyalty, betrayal, power, privacy, and how quickly love could become war when secrets were exposed. Every hour brought a new post, a new leak, a new twist. And the world was watching, refreshing, waiting for the next move. And just when people thought the fire might calm down, a new rumor started to spread. A producer from Love and Hip Hop had allegedly been subpoenaed, and that could only mean one thing: someone was getting sued. The whispers started small. A cryptic post here, a strange DM there. But by the time the rumor reached the blogs, it was a tidal wave loud fast and impossible to ignore. Someone was about to sue, and it wasn't Kirk. It wasn't Rasheeda. It wasn't even Tyrell. It was the doctor, according to a now-deleted tweet from a verified Atlanta-based legal insider. Rasheeda's private physician, yes, the one who dropped the pregnancy shocker, was reportedly under investigation for violating patient confidentiality. The claim that she had been paid by someone close to the production to strategically reveal the news on camera. Without Rasheeda's full consent, the entire timeline froze. Because if that was true, then this wasn't just a messy love triangle. This was an orchestrated media ambush. And suddenly, everyone looked at Kirk again. Had he set her up? Had he known about the pregnancy, about Tyrell, about everything, and staged this moment just to take her down in public? Was his collapse a performance? A new leak seemed to confirm what fans feared. An email, allegedly from a Love and Hip Hop producer, was leaked to a gossip forum. In it, the producer discusses securing a medical reveal for dramatic impact and keeping Rasheeda in the dark for raw reaction. The name Kirk Frost appears in the CC line. If the email is real and right now, no one has denied it means Kirk knew exactly what the doctor was going to say. It means his collapse wasn't from shock. It was a distraction, a deflection, a power play to win sympathy and flip the narrative, and it worked until it didn't. Because Rasheeda, now fully aware of the betrayal, isn't staying silent. She hasn't gone live. She hasn't posted a formal statement. But this morning, she uploaded a photo, a single black and white picture. It showed her sitting in a chair, eyes closed, her pregnant belly visible for the first time. The caption said everything. "You used the truth to humiliate me. I'll use the truth to destroy you." Within minutes, Tyrell reposted it. The internet exploded again. People were screaming, "She's coming for blood." That wasn't a caption, that was a warning. Kirk's about to lose everything. But while fans were processing Rasheeda's response, a new leak hit. Footage from a security cam inside Kirk's home. Footage never meant to be seen showed him in his study, opening a hidden compartment in the wall, inside a small safe. When he opened it, documents, stacks of cash, and a USB drive. The video has no sound. Just Kirk staring at the files, then quickly grabbing the drive and slipping it into his jacket before leaving the room. That footage raises more questions than answers. What's on the USB? Why was it hidden? And how did someone leak security footage from inside his own house? One theory is already going viral. Some believe the USB contains evidence Kirk has been saving for years. Photos, messages, maybe even contracts proving Rasheeda's infidelity, long before Tyrell ever showed up. Others believe it's insurance, that Kirk's been preparing for this breakdown for a long time. And he's got one last card to play. But here's the part that nobody was ready for. Just before midnight, Rasheeda's team issued a formal notice to VH1. She will not be attending the scheduled reunion taping, but Kirk will, and sources say he's bringing the USB. No one knows what's on it, no one knows if it's real, but everyone agrees this next chapter is going to be an ending. It's going to be war. This story is nowhere near over. We've seen tears, we've seen betrayal, we've seen a man collapse, a woman rise, and secrets spill from places no one ever expected. But now, with lawsuits brewing, a USB full of mystery, and the reunion just days away, everything is on the line. What's really on that drive Kirk's been hiding? Was the entire pregnancy reveal a setup orchestrated by the man who swore he'd changed? If Rasheeda's done staying silent, what is she planning next? We want to hear from you. Right now, go to the comments and tell us. Do you think Kirk set her up? Was Rasheeda wrong to move on? Is Tyrell telling the whole truth? Or is there more to his involvement than we know? Whose side are you on and why? This drama is unfolding in real time, and your voice matters more than ever. Like this video if you've been following since day one. Subscribe right now so you don't miss the next explosive update, because, trust us, the next twist will leave your jaw on the floor. And remember, the reunion is coming. The cameras are rolling and the lies are just getting started. You've seen the collapse. Now get ready for the confrontation, because someone is about to lose everything, and we'll be right here to break it all down. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.